The prolonged political tug-of-war in Pakistan is only adding to the Pakistani people's persistent struggle for survival. Ignoring the urgent needs of their troubled people, the political leaders in the country appear to be only focused on mudslinging and trading blows, accusing each other of inaction and ineffectiveness. There does not appear to be any focus on solving the pressing issues of poverty, food and medicine shortages, terrorism, and the economic crisis. Let's take a closer look at the rapidly deteriorating situation in Pakistan, which appears to be heading for anarchy and chaos. Enjoying a lavish lifestyle while living abroad, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif, was recently spotted in an expensive Bentley while shopping at a luxury store in London. The elder brother of Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, Nawaz was critically trolled on social media by Pakistanis. At a time when millions of Pakistanis are facing difficulty feeding their families, the Pakistani political elite continue to enjoy a luxurious lifestyle. Their apparent indifference and flippancy to the struggles of their people has not gone unnoticed in Pakistan. The incident added fuel to the ongoing political tussle between the ruling government and the opposition, Imran Khan's party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, PTI. Khan, cricketer turned politician, who was ousted as Prime Minister of Pakistan in April of 2022 through a no-confidence motion in the National Assembly, is being accused of misusing his office to sell gifts from foreign dignitaries. Khan has been pushing for snap elections, a demand which has been rejected by his successor, Shehbaz Sharif. In further escalation of political volatility, on March 8th, police fired tear gas shells and used batons on Imran Khan's supporters in Lahore as they planned a rally to kickstart the election campaign. With the country's leaders caught up in political drama, the country is primed for a further descent into instability and crisis.
हमने जो रैली करनी थी वो अब हम नहीं कर रहे, क्योंकि मुझे अफसोस ये है कि ये जो करना चाहते हैं, ये सारा जो एक्शन ले रहे हैं, इसका मकसद क्या है कि किसी तरह ये इलेक्शन से निकलें। सारी कोशिश ये है कि कोई इंतशार फैले।
It is Pakistan's supposed leaders who are the ones causing the country to crumble. While Khan urges his supporters to hit the streets to demand early elections, the government is attempting to have the former Prime Minister expelled from all politics in the country. In this commotion, the general public's basic needs are being forgotten. In debt-ridden Pakistan, the rupee is plummeting and inflation is at decades-high levels. Many political analysts, both inside and outside of Pakistan, believe that the country's state of affairs will not improve until the Pakistani army refrains from meddling in the country's politics.
The condition of Pakistan, if it is seen, the main reason is the Pakistan Army's control over Pakistan. The Pakistani army exercises control over three important dimensions of Pakistan, that is its economic affairs, foreign affairs and defense. The Chief of Army Staff of the Pakistan Army is the de facto Chief Executive Officer of Corporate Pakistan, because anything which is manufactured in Pakistan, from salt to steel, the Pakistani army has got a stake in it through its foundations.
A country of some 232 million people, Pakistan is on a downward spiral, where no one is ready to accept accountability for the country's deteriorating political and economic situation. The government lacks any concrete plan to bring the country's economy back on track. Political leaders are instead relying on foreign loans. The country has not been able to attract overseas investors due to political and economic uncertainty and a lack of skilled manpower. Pakistan's political and economic situation left the country an easy victim to China's debt-trap diplomacy. Beijing, who is tied to Islamabad through its multi-billion-dollar China-Pakistan economic corridor, remains in a position of power to further exert their will and influence.
Pakistani's domestic woes, the economic crisis, the political crisis is a fertile ground for the China to make its ingress, and China is waiting that as Pakistan slips and slides further, the Chinese domination of Pakistan will increase with each passing day.
Decades of mismanagement and poor political and economic policies have left the country in the sinking position it finds itself in today. Pakistan, however, does not appear to even want to learn from past mistakes and remains eager to continue accepting foreign loans, seemingly pushing the consequences of such actions out of sight and out of mind. Nepal elected 78-year-old Ramchandra Pada, a social democrat and a member of Nepali Congress, as its third president since the Himalayan Nation ended a centuries-old monarchy. Pada was supported by Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda against a candidate fielded by his key coalition partner, the Communist Unified Marxist-Leninist Party, UML. The presidential election has now created a rift within the ruling coalition, as the UML has withdrawn support for the Prime Minister, requiring him to prove majority in Parliament. Dahal's Community Party of Nepal Maoist Center, 4th Convention, is now expected to cobble together a new coalition with the Nepali Congress Party and other smaller groups. A new political crisis emerges as the Supreme Court will hear a petition demanding the arrest of Prime Minister Dahal, a former Maoist rebel chief, who has been facing charges surrounding his role during a decade-long civil war that killed thousands of people almost 2 decades back.
In a country like Nepal, even the politicians are insecure between themselves. They don't trust each other. And their only intention, in fact, is to be in power. Once they are out of power, they don't think that no one wants to be an opposition party. We just saw that, because everyone wants to rule the country, everyone wants to be in power.
The 240-year-old monarchical rule in the Himalayan Nation came to an end on May 28, 2008, when the newly elected Constituent Assembly declared Nepal a federal democratic republic. Unfortunately, the country has been struggling to uphold a democracy since then. Nepal is currently experiencing a triangular tug-of-war between the 3 major forces. A large majority of Nepalis will support the monarchical system. There are also the democratic forces, led by the Nepali Congress and the Maoists, those who fought against the monarchy. In addition to the 3 warring forces, different ethnic and cultural groups in the country have their own political interests. According to the Election Commission of Nepal, there are 192 registered political parties, including 11 national parties in the country. None of these parties or coalitions who have formed government have ever remained in power for the full 5-year term.
One of the sad reality of Nepalese political party is our second generation leaders, they are not challenging to our older generation leader. I respect older generation leaders because they fought for the democracy, they fought for the Republican country, they fought for the federalism, but they couldn't institutionalize those changes.
Failing to provide any meaningful governments for Nepalis, the political parties in Nepal have lost the democratic values and ethics needed for the future of the Himalayan Nation. Irrespective of their ideological differences, Political parties in Nepal are engaged in forming coalition governments only out of greed for power. Such kind of opportunistic politics is continuously causing trouble for Nepal, especially for its people.